Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here. So I just finished a video of doing a three-tone stencil experiment, and I came up with an idea, so that's what this video is for. Doing a two-tone priming a piece with flat black paint, and then stenciling a matte metallic. Then when I was preparing this one, I came up with another idea. Video. So this is going to be a week of experimenting, and a lot of these are ideas and prototypes from my journal that I'm coming up with a bunch of metal designs. So for this one here, I'm using a bigger stencil, so I'm going to be using a full sheet of Strathmore Vision watercolor paper. It's 140 pound. And the design for this, which I thought would be really cool, is the Decor Andy Skinner Mixed Media Stencil. This is halftone, and I like this because of the shape that it is. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to have to very carefully tape around the edges because I'm a slob when it comes to that stuff. All right, what I forgot to show in the last video is, well, if you just get a piece of paper, what do? You can paint it just black. Even though this paper is pretty stiff, I like gessoing it because it adds a little bit more substance, and I'm using my thick gesso. So this is the gesso that I actually got the container, fresh container, opened it, stirred it up. And I did this over a day to let some of the water evaporate, which makes it super thick, which is good for, you can stencil the gesso. I should have got the thinner one, which is same thing, fresh container, and added distilled water, just a little bit to thin it down. And then I have my container, which is as is. So just going to use a flat brush and get that little piece of dried gunk out of there, and just rogue renegade paint that, and then let it dry. So put that aside. I already have a piece done because we all know how much I love prep. And with this, I wonder if I can just, no, because I can use the other part for something else. So Decor Media Fluid Acrylics Carbon Black, because it's a flat black. It has a bit of a sheen, but you know what we could have done to make it even more flat? Chalk paint. Oh, I wonder if I have time. Sugar. No, I don't. Another experiment. Oh my God. I love doing these experiments. I know for a fact a lot of you don't like experimenting because of your wasting, you feel like you're wasting product. Get that out of your mind. Experimenting is education. You're learning. And the best way that an experiment can take place is if something goes wrong. Because then you get other opportunities to try to fix it. Not to fix it, but just to try something different. Remember, if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, you're just being silly. So, experiment. I enjoy experimenting more than doing actual formal art pieces. And being retired, I thought I would have lots more time to do this. I love experimenting. All right, how's that look? I missed some spots. That's just water. See, this way you gotta tilt and tilt and tilt. So what I'm going to dry this, and then if I've missed some spots, I'll come back with another layer because the paper's textured. But if we're good to go, then we'll go right to stenciling, and I'm going to be stenciling with the Decor Matte Metallic Charcoal. So this is the flat, well, the flat part has a bit of a sheen, but the flat part, and then this one here, and we're going to use this through this stencil. But I will do another video of taking the I'd like to try doing a different color, but I'll take the fluid acrylics with charcoal. Oh my god, this paint, this paint with the chalk medium to make it super flat, and then stencil the matte metallic. Blame it on the ice storm going on outside. All right, back in a few minutes. Okay, I have to put another layer on there because it was a few too many spots. And normally it'd be okay because it's an experiment, but with this one here, because these are all dots, that would kind of break the pattern. So put that on there. And you want to make sure that it's completely dry if you're going to tape your stencil on there, because if it's not, you're going to peel the paint right off. There's only so much that the gesso can do. You need to use some common sense. So there's another experiment for you. Purposely lift the paint off, rip it off. Okay, I'm going to dry this. So with this one here, I like applying it with a palette knife, but I know for a fact that this, because it's more fluid, it's going to go underneath the stencil. I don't like using bristle brushes with metallic paint. So I'm going to move this over here. That way I can still use this for something else. Now make sure I do this correctly. On the bottom part, you just go along here. That way, when you've done your stenciling, you peel the tape off and you just lift it like this. It helps prevent the stencil from sliding. Helps prevent. I'm going to leave those sticking up. That way they're easy to grab. Goodness gracious me. So this is going to be nice two-tone. I don't think I'll need more than that. Let's see. Get dry paper towel over here. I'm going to load this sucker up, like really load it. Wipe the excess. Start on the outside and work in. Now, the challenge with this stencil, it's so close to the edge, you got to be careful if you're stenciling this on a much larger piece so you don't get the paint on the outside. If that's the case, you can just put tape along here. Always going back in that area. But I'm going to cut this. Oh, I know what I'm going to do with this. Although this is a prototype for a metal piece I'm working on, because paint is easier. The decor metallic paints are phenomenal to look like true metal. I'm going to use this in a piece of jewelry. And I'll, you know what, pay it forward. Maybe I'll do it as a giveaway. I'll have to find a theme for that piece. Wonder if I can retrofit my Dremel tool to do this for me. Oh. I have my flex shaft right over here. I wonder if I could put the brush will spin like this though. Oh, so I want to thank everybody for a few videos ago. I was asking for some. Oh, I was asking for, you know, if you. I had an injury on my belt sander. So people were suggesting some gloves. I did try non-cut gloves. Big mistake. The actual gloves got caught in the belt sander. So I had gone to rubber, not leather, rubber. And what was the other one? Masks. Oh yeah, the masks. So the video, I mean, that video is easy to spot. I'm going to talk because this is tedious. Where I'm wearing the mask, and thank you to my Smelf, my social media elf Susan, for creating that great graphic. I was testing out RZ masks because it's more of a cloth mask, which is super comfortable. Works with glasses, super comfortable. They're not rated P100 for fumes, like for resin fumes, but I was testing out a specific resin for that, which now I've gone back to art resin, which doesn't need a vapor mask. So the RZ mask, super comfortable, which is super for sanding resin, sanding wood, and all that stuff. My issue with the mask that was in that post, I forgot to block this, was my glasses didn't quite sit properly. So I went to a 3M, voicemail hell, trying to get a hold of somebody there. And I hope that they're watching. Didn't even get a call back, nothing. So I ended up going to Home Depot. Useless. And yeah, I hope they're watching too. People go in there to buy something and they have questions. Be there to answer because they will go someplace else. That's a rant that I have. To what I ended up buying didn't fit. But RZ, oh, phenomenal customer service. So the mask that I got was a little bit big, but I can go back to Teg and get a smaller one. Customer service these days is everything. It's almost like product doesn't matter. It's customer service. Okay, so I've really gone over really well with this. And no, Blondie still over there. I shouldn't call her that because that's, you know, not politically correct. Like Banamu, Queenie, Princess, Chaos, whatever her name is. She, when I'm not looking, she likes to jump up and drink paint water. So when I call her Blondie, I mean no offense to anybody. It's just something we call her. All right, so the idea with this now is just take the corner off. I was too busy talking, I have no idea if I put too much paint on. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, remember when I said, oh, I put too much paint on? That's what happened. But what a cool effect. Look at this stencil. It's the colors, but look at that. Interesting. Yeah, so I screwed up there. But I love that tone. So it's not quite flat. It's got that sheen on it. So now what I'm going to do is basically another experiment is taking the carbon black fluid acrylics, mixing it with chalk medium to make it super matte, almost like velvet or felt matte, and then doing the paint. I'm going to try if I could try a different color, an ocean. I'm doing a lot of ocean stuff, so there you go. Alrighty, so I'm looking at the monitor. That's mesmerizing. You look at it, your eyes get drawn in, almost like a 3D thing. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. But if you give me a thumbs up, let me know why. Like, was there something that you didn't like with the video or a technique or something? Just let me know why. Because I always want to make the videos good for you guys. But better yet is if you've done experiments like this before, let me know as well in the comments below what you've done for some experiments, because I love trying experiments that you guys send to me. You guys are always sending me email challenges, so I would love to, you know, get some more challenges and to do experiments and stuff like that. So let me know what you've done, and then I'll see if I can do some. And if you've used specific paints, if you can list the brand, that way if other people have the same brand, then they can try that experiment even more accurately. But if not, don't worry about it. Alrighty, so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on anything, because this week is a week of experiments. Lots of videos, experiments. I'm trying to keep them short. Alrighty, so I came up with 3 more ideas. I'm going to try those. And although this piece, I was going to use it in a piece of jewelry, I'm not going to use this particular one because there's too many blobs in there. But what I will do is when that video time comes, I will create this again and then use that properly done piece for the giveaway. All right, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. So I'm off to do another video. I'm going to make myself a cappuccino. And until I see you then, stay inspired.